Welcome back to Going Solo. I'm Rick, and this is the last episode of Series 1 of Final Girl. So, let's go ahead and talk about special rules. Maple Lane, we have all of the search spaces are houses, and in order to get into a house that has a victim inside, we have to use one of these special action cards, the Convince card. Also, we can only search each house once. Once we search it, we add a token to it, showing that we have already searched it. And we can no longer search that particular house. We can still search the other two houses in that area. The houses are also divided into quadrants, and the item decks are set up per quadrant. So the first house we search, we would get the top item card of that quadrant's deck. All right. For the birds. The birds can't move. Instead of movement, they have spawning. To spawn, we roll 2 dice, and then we refer to this chart. One of those dice is the number of birds. The other is the location based on this chart right here. If there are ever 3 birds on every space on the board, then we lose the game. Also, if the final girl dies, we lose the game. So, that's the basics for the birds and for Maple Lane. Now, this is a very unique scenario as well, as there is a very, very big special rule for the scenario. First I need to talk about how we win. Normally with the birds, how we win is by saving the special victims. In this case, there would be 2 for this scenario. The special victims come out when all of the normal victims are gone, either killed or saved. However, this scenario is different. To win this scenario, first of all, once the special victims come out, each time one of them comes out and I get to them, instead of a special victim, they become one of the other 2 final girls that are set aside right here, Nancy or Sheila. And I'm running Melody right now. So, those special victims will turn into Nancy and Sheila. I will get their cards, and I will get, I will be controlling all final girls on the board. Each time I play a card, that card can be done by every final girl that I have control of. And the goal of this particular game is to kill all of the birds. Let's go ahead and get started. Birds were not uncommon in Spring Hill. Like most places in the world, they were quite normal, so the residents on Maple Lane didn't think too much about it when there was a slightly greater than normal population of birds in the area. Chester Chestnut went to get the paper at the foot of the drive every morning at 7 a.m. He had never seen a seagull in his driveway, or in Tennessee at all, until now. And there wasn't just one, but upwards of 10 or 15. "Leslie, honey, come look at this," he called to his wife, who was in the backyard tending the garden. When he got no reply, he walked around the side yard and opened the gate to the backyard. He gasped in horror when he saw, through a collage of wings and beaks, his wife's dead body laying in the soil among the vegetables. Unbeknownst to Chester and the other residents, someone had gone to the cursed cave. But who? Okay, so to start off with, I will get my 0 cost cards here. And we will have our first event card, which is what is going on over there. Place 1 new victim on each exit space. So we get 1 new victim on each exit space. Okay. And it is my turn now. Alright, so I've got my 0 cost cards here, so let's see what we can do. Let's see, I'm going to start by saving this victim that's right here in my space and using it to reduce the horror level. No. Because I really want to save this guy as well. So I'm going to instead move 2 spaces instead of reducing the horror level. Alright, so next I'm going to walk. Okay, that's a partial. So I'll give the short rest and a focus to turn that into a success so that I can move 1 more space. I would have taken this one with me as well. And then I'm going to walk again. And that is a success. I don't want to give up my cards to do it, because I really would like to kill a bird, but I would actually rather save a victim. So, I am going to discard both of these cards to turn this one into a success as well, which means I can move 2 spaces. 1, 2, and then I will save all 3 of these victims. So I think we're off to a good start here. One of these I am going to go on move 1 space so that I don't get attacked. One of these I am going to reduce the horror level. And one of these is going to be taking the guard action card. Alright. Now it is my planning phase. I've got 4 points. I need... Oh, I didn't turn items over. Let's see what items we've got around here. We've got an energy drink. A rifle. That could help. A crucifix. And the bicycle. Bicycle could really help. Let's see. Bicycle is in southeast, which is where I'm close to. But if I don't take a sprint card, I won't be able to move. If I don't take a search card, I won't be able to search. Because I've got to take a convince card to get in there. Oh, I'm at the door already. So I'll take the search card for 2. And then I will take a convince card for 1. And a close call for the other one. Alright. And that is the end of our action phase. So we move on to the killer phase. So first, can any of the birds attack? They can attack if any birds are in my space, those birds can attack. And any other space that has 3 birds can attack. There's no birds in my space, and there's only 1 space with 3 birds right here, so they can't attack. Then we spawn birds. A 5 and a 6. Which means somebody's going to be in trouble. Some of the victims are probably about to die. Okay, so a 5 is the nearest victim space, which would be this one, or a 6 would be my space. So I'll do 5 birds in my space then, which means my immediate space gets 3, and then the rest, the other 2, will go into the intersection, which will then also have 3. And I just hope the terror card is not an attack, because that would be 3 points away from me immediately. Okay, so that's the spawn. So we draw a terror card. Horror goes up by 2. If there is at least one special victim in play, spawn. There's not. So, horror went up. We need to take care of that. But first, we've got other things on our mind. Okay. There's no panic because nobody died, and there's no upkeep at the moment, so we can move on to round 2 in our second action phase. So I'm going to go ahead and do a convince to try to get into this house right over here. See if I can convince them to let me in. Ooh, I'm going to be using my close call on that one. Okay, 1 success. 1 success means that I can enter the building. If I don't plan on moving in the next turn, I could stop here so that I could take an improvise to try to get my horror level down next turn. Not improvise. Distraction. I do have a guard card that I can guard against damage if needed. So, let's see here. Yeah, I'm just going to hold off. I'm going to go into my planning phase where I get to take all of my 0 cost. And I've got 3 points with which I will get a distraction card to try to lower the horror level. Okay. Now it is the killer turn again. Let's see, there are no places that can be attacked. So we're good there. And so we need to spawn. Are you kidding me? I need to roll different dice for spawning. Because apparently these like to spawn, but they don't like to give me successes. Okay, so we've got 6 in my space, which means 3 go in my space. And then 3 more would overflow. So I'm going to spread them out to 1 going here, 1 going here, and then 1 going up here somewhere. Just so we don't get 3 birds in another spot, because that would not be great. Okay. Now it is time for their terror card. Where are they coming from? Spawn again. Let's see if these dice do better for spawning. Okay, that's better. So 2 or 3. 2 in any single space, or 3... No, 3 in any single space, or 2 at the nearest search spot. I'm going to do the 2 in any single space, and I'll put them up here. No. Yeah, if 3 or fewer birds spawned, we spawn again. So I did the 2, but 3 wouldn't have got us out of it either, so 1 and 2. So either 1 in any single space, or 2 distributed. I will do 1 right here. Alright, so we made it through another terror card. Really need to kill some birds this time. But before I kill some birds, let's go ahead and do a search. And I wanted to use... Wait, before I do the search, actually, let me do a distraction. Come on. Please. 1 success, 1 partial. I do plan on walking, so I don't want to get rid of my walks. Two. My focuses would do good for that. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to get all the way down here, so I'm going to get rid of my focus cards. So I will do the same thing that both of those focus cards would have done, except that I get 2 extra time doing it. Hopefully that will allow me to buy another distraction card so that I can get a 3rd dice. Because that is the goal. Alright, so now we can search. Ooh, another partial. Did not want that at all. Okay, so I will get rid of a walk and the short rest because I don't need those at the moment. And so I get to take the top card. So we have the bicycle. When you take this card, place the bicycle token on the street space adjacent to you. If you do not have any items in your hands, and if you are with the bicycle, you may move yourself to any other street space on the board once per turn. No, it would be on this space right here. Okay, so we'll put that aside over here. And let's see, what else can I do? Weak attack is not going to do much. I kind of want to go for the southwest over here, because I kind of want to get that rifle, because the rifle would be helpful. A little bit helpful, anyway. So let's go ahead and walk first. A double success, so I get to move 2 spaces at the cost of 1 time. So of course I will go 1 and 2 and save both of these victims, which would have granted me extra health if I had lost any. But that does unlock Melanie's special ability. So once per action phase, I may lose 1 health to deal 2 damage, divided as you choose among enemies in your space. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to reduce this down to a single bird. And then I'm going to weak attack. It's cocked. All right. 3 birds gone. And now it is back to my planning phase. So I am going to take this other distraction card for 3. I've got 4 points left. I'm going to take a sprint. I'm going to take a convince. And I'm going to take a close call. And all of these go back to their respective spaces so that I can buy them again next round. Okay. So that is it for my turn. We are back to the bird's turn. There are none that can attack at the moment, so we're going to spawn. These spawns are not looking in my favor. Okay, so 5 birds in the nearest victim space. Let's see, the nearest victim would be 1, 2, 3. So one of these 2. So we will put two. No, we will just put 3 in this space, and then 1 here and 1 here, and that'll take care of it. All right. Then we get a terror card. The birds are attacking. Okay, so attack in my space. There are no birds. And all spaces where birds outnumber victims. Alright, so we've got 1 death here. Death here. And that's it. So, Bloodlust goes up twice. So we get our other event and a horror level. The 4th of July, move all victims inside a house to the adjacent street space. All right. All victims left their houses, which means I don't need convince cards to get into their houses. So that's a positive. And then, if no attacks occurred, spawn and Bloodlust. Alright. I might have mixed these up. We'll see.
I didn't understand that.
Okay. So, there were deaths, so we do panic. So these 2 will panic first. 5 and a 6. They both go over here into the city center. Then these 2 are going to panic. 1 and a 5. So this one runs back in the house. This one goes up here. These 3 will panic. 1, 5, and 6. So 1 goes over here. And these 2 go into the street center. And then we got 1 more guy to panic. Oops. And that is a 6. Okay, so he goes over here. Alright, so we do have some victims over here that are in danger, so let's see if we can help them. There's no upkeep, and it is back to our turn. Let's start with a distraction. A partial. I really don't want to let it slide. I don't really need the convince right now. So yeah, I'll take a convince and then the close call. Rather than rolling again, I'll just discard it to make it a definite success. So I gain a time and I get to reduce the horror level by 1. Now I will sprint. All right, that's one success. So I get to move two spaces, which would put me right here. Right in the intersection. Save that guard card. Okay, back to the planning phase. I've got 6 points here. I'm going to take the distraction so that I can try to get to 3 dice, because that would be extremely helpful. So that leaves me 3 left. I'm taking my 0 cost here. So with 3 left, I will take a sprint and a close call. Yes. Okay, killer phase. These birds can attack. To start off with, I'm going to use my guard card to prevent them from killing these victims. So I can reduce the attack by 2. Their attack is 3. So they would only do 1. Which is enough to unveil their dark power. During upkeep, panic the victim farthest from you. If the victim panics to a space with 2 or more birds, the victim is killed. Okay. Alright, then they spawn. 2 and a 3, that's better. So that's going to be 2 at the nearest search space. The nearest search space to me is going to be, let's see, this one's 1, 2. This one's 1, 2. One of these houses. So I'm going to do 2 in this house over here. And then we get a terror card. It feels hopeless. It does feel hopeless that I'm ever going to get 3 dice. Alright, if there's at least one special victim in play, there's not. So that one can go away. Alright. So, let's see. Nobody... Yes, somebody did die that round. So, we panic. So we'll start up here. 6. He runs down here. This house. 3. He runs out. We got my space here. 5, 5, and 4. So 2 run over here. 1 runs over here. Then we got the guy that was in this space already. A 1 means he goes over here. This guy, a 5 means he goes over here. So they just switch places. Okay. And then we have upkeep. So the victim farthest from me panics, which would be this one right here. 6. So he just comes over here. All right. Back to me. We're going to start with a distraction. Yeah, okay. All right. So I did get 1 success. So I gained a time on that one. Um, that's fine, yeah. Okay, then I'm going to... I have a sprint here. I'm going to sprint. Okay, so that's 2. Well, that's 1 success, but I get to move 2 spaces, is what I meant. So we'll go 1, 2 spaces. I will save both of these victims. And saving victims gives additional health. So I gain a health back. I only gain 1 back because I was only down by 1. Then I'm going to do a weak attack at this bird here. That's 1 success, so I lose a health, but the bird is killed. I need to try to thin out these birds a little bit at least. Alright, let's walk then. One success. That's fine. Get to move 1 space. I am going to lose a health to deal damage for my special ability. Then I'm going to walk again. Ooh. So we're going to take that close call. I lost a dice. Let's see if I can grab it here. There we go. Alright, so I can't remember which one of these was my dice. One of them fell, I'll just re-roll the whole thing. Okay, so a partial. I will discard both of my focus to move 1 space. Save these 2 victims and gain my 2 health back. Alright, so that's my turn. I've only got 2 points here. So I'm definitely going to buy a sprint card so that I can move. And hopefully kill some more birds with my special ability. All of these go back. My goal for the next round is a distraction card, because I would like to get to 3 dice, and then when I start getting these other final girls out, maybe we can do some damage. Okay. So, now it is the killer phase. So this one's going to die, which means horror goes back up 1. And that's the only one that gets an attack. So then we spawn. 1 and a 4. 4 is the nearest victim space, so I'm going to spawn 1 over here. There's only 2 victims left on the board. I may be able to do this. Okay. Then they get a terror card. Where are they coming from? Spawning. Okay, let's spawn again. 1 and a 2. So we're going to do 1 in any single space. I'll do it here. And then if 3 or 4 fewer birds were spawned, spawn again. 4 and a 2. So I'm going to do 2 at the nearest exit, which is where I am. Okay, and that's that. A lot of birds to deal with here. And I don't have much to use to deal with them. Okay, so let's see. Then it is we did lose 1, so these 2 are going to panic. They both got 5s, which means they both run up here. And then the furthest away one is going to panic, which is one of them. A 1, which means they move into this house, which is good because there's only 1 bird in that house. So that means that victim does not die yet. Okay. And then we are back to me. So I'm going to sprint. Success and a partial. I don't have cards to discard, so it's just a single success, which means I move 2 spaces. And I am going to use a help to kill 2 of those birds, bringing that one down to 1. And that's going to be my turn. So I've got 5 points. I'm going to take a distraction. So I really, really, really want to get a 3rd dice. Okay. And I also took a sprint. And I get the 0 cost. Alright, this sprint goes back, and it is the bird's turn again. So this one in my space attacks, and then any that have 3 attack, there's none that can attack. So we're good there. Then we go to the panic phase. Nobody died this round. We're good there. Then we go to the upkeep phase. The farthest victim away, this one, panics. And if they end up in a space with 2 or more birds, they die. A 6, which means they stay where they are because there is not a 6. So we're good there. Alright. Alright, now, my turn. So let's start with a distraction. Come on, double success would be great right here. Let me see, I need to turn at least one of them. I also need to be able to move. So let's get rid of, I guess, our focus cards. So I gain a time, and the horror level goes down 1. Let's go ahead and do a short rest. Ooh. Okay. All I'm going to have for movement is my sprint. Because I need that health. So let's sprint. Alright, 1 success, so 2 spaces. 1, 2. Save a victim. So I gain a health. Give that health back to deal 2 damage. And that's going to be my turn. Alright, now it's the planning phase. Okay, so I'm going to take a distraction. I'm still determined to get that 3rd dice when I should be taking attacks, but I'll also take a sprint. No. I need to take a convince and a close call. Because getting in this house doesn't take movement, it takes convincing. Alright. Okay. Now let's see what else we can do here. It's the enemy's turn now. So there's none that can attack, so they will spawn. Four and a 5. Let's see. 4. 5 is the nearest victim, which is here. 4 is the nearest exit, which is here. So it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to do 4 at the nearest victim, which means 3 go here, because there was only 1, so that was 2 go there, and then 2 go here with me. Okay. Then we have a terror card. It feels hopeless. It really, really, really does. If there is at least 1 special victim in play, spawn, but there's not yet. Hopefully that was the last. It feels hopeless. Okay. Then we panic, but there's nobody to panic. So we panic this guy for our upkeep. A 4. 4 means he stays where he is, which means he ends up in a space with birds, so he dies. And for the extra bloodlust, we discard 1 terror card. Okay. At this point, all the victims are gone, so the special victims come out. And let me remember, I think it was the furthest away search space. I need to find my rules cards real quick. Here they are. All right. Other rules, bird attacks, spawning birds, the birds, special victims. Special victims will only come out of hiding if and when one of the following conditions are met. You unlock your ultimate ability. Oh, they should have come out a long time ago. I played this whole dang thing wrong. Oh well. We'll just keep it going then. Or there are no more victims on the board, which is the case now. When one of these conditions has been met, place the special victim meeples in the furthest search spaces from you, with no more than one in a single space. So let's see. The furthest from me, I think, is going to be either this one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would take me 5 to get here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get here. So they're probably going to go here and here. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, everywhere is about 5 spaces from me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 5 spaces is the furthest away. So I'll put one here and one here just to make it a bit more challenging. So that they're on opposite sides of the map. So that I have to go and get them, make it a little bit harder. Also made it a little bit harder by not spawning them already because I should have. Okay. Alright, so that was... Feels hopeless. Oh, that was the upkeep phase. Okay. So now it's back to me. So I know I'm going to need to move, although I can't really right now because I don't have any cards that would let me move. So we're going to start with a distraction. One success. It's better than nothing. I don't need the convince anymore. Actually, that's true. I don't need the convince anymore. So I will discard the convince and the close call to turn that into a success, which means I gain 2 and lose 2 focus. And then I will lose a health or lose time. I could lose time with a weak attack as well. Or, I mean, health with a weak attack as well. Okay, yep. I'm just going to lose the health to kill both birds instead of possibly only killing one bird. Alright. Now, it is the bird's turn. There are no birds that can attack at the moment. Until I collect them, the special victims are just that, special victims. So, let's spawn. Double 5s. So 5 in the nearest victim's space. So let's see. They're both equidistant from me. We've already established that. So I will do 2 here. Then 1 overflows to here. 1 will overflow here and 1 will overflow here. Okay. I didn't buy cards. So let's stop for a second, buy cards, and then I can continue on with the killer phase. So I've got 8 points. I'm going to buy... Let's go ahead and buy a Furious Strike for 4. A Distraction for 3. Take all of our 0 cost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And a close call. Okay, I need to try to get these other girls out here. And all I got is walks because I wasn't smart enough to buy a sprint. Okay. Alright. So, back to the killer phase. So we just spawned. Now they get a terror card. Horror goes up. They're trying to get in. Instead of spawning birds as normal, roll 1 die and place that many birds in the nearest search space. 6. Okay, so 2. Overflow to 3. Overflow to 4 and 5. And there's the 6th one. I gotta take down some birds because there's quite a lot of them out here. All right. Let's see what I can do now. Oh, these should have gone away. These should have been put back. Okay. The furthest victim is one of those two. We'll make it the blue guy. He's going to be the panicker. 4, so he stays. All right. My turn. Let's roll another distraction. One success. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a short rest. That's a partial. I'm going to take my focus cards to make that a success so that I gain a health back. Then we're going to walk. A double failure, so let's do a close call. Alright, 1 success. Move 1 space. Alright, and in this 1 space, I'm going to give up a heart to deal 2 damage. And then I'm going to do a weak attack. One success, so I lose a 2nd heart, but I do kill that last bird as well. That's going to be the end of my turn because I don't want to risk losing any more time because I really need a sprint card. So I'm going to take a sprint card and a close call. They don't go in the discard pile. All right. So, bird's turn. They attack. There's nobody to attack. 4 and a 5. So, 5 at the nearest exit or 4 at the nearest victim. We're going to do 4 at the nearest victim. 2 here. 1 here. 1 here. So that gives us 2 more sets of 3. All right. Now, nearest victim, we're going to alternate. So the, actually the furthest victim, and the blue's furthest now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, they're equal. I'll check the orange guy. 6, he stays. This is a dice I want to roll for me. Okay. So now we're back to me. So let's go ahead and sprint. Alright, 1 success, so I get to move 2 spaces. 1 and 2. Then I'm going to walk. One success. So I get to move 1 more space. And here, let's switch out dice. I'm going to do a Furious Strike. Ooh. Bad luck. So, we're going to do the close call. Still, nothing. Alright, so that means I lose a health, and horror goes up 1. And it immediately ends my turn. So I've got 2 points. I'm in a space with birds, so I'm going to take a guard card. All of my zeros. These are going to go back. And I'm probably in some trouble here. Because their first thing to do is to attack. That's going to be 3 points. And I have no final health tokens. So, that's the end of the game. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back next week with another game. Most likely it's going to be Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. So, hope you come back then, and thank you for watching.